Do you have questions? Here you go. Madam, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Camille Guerrero from ABS-CBN News. I just want to ask, what makes El Nido in particular a special occasion for this event, especially since it's the start of the season? What makes it the best place to start this new season?
Having a warm location is definitely beneficial because it's a lot easier to warm up and it doesn't hurt as much. But coming here again after 4 or 5 years, we know the location, we've been here before, and I think just having it in my head, I can visualize a lot better because I know the cliff that we're going to dive off the platform and we know that it's going to be good weather. Plus, it's a special place for me because I have my family coming to watch me, and being able to represent both Australia and the Philippines is really special, and it always fuels me to perform better.
I would like to say that for me, the Philippines in general is a special place. It's top 3 now. Sport.
With regards to sa ating
I can say a lot of things why, because it's nature, it's, I don't know, the cold water, everything together, the sun, out here, the colors, it's coming. The rain as well is really nice to see, before it dies. So I'm really excited to do it the second time this time here. I know vacation somehow, but it's still some energies, inside me to start the season with this, especially really responsible.
Thank you very much, Ms. Camille. Do you have any more questions? Sayang ang biyahe. Di ba lang tayo nagtanong? Questions from the media? All right, sir.
Just a question first, Shante. Since we've already mentioned that you're a half Filipina, maybe if you win the World Trophy, would you like to play for our Philippine diving team for the upcoming international competition?
Never say never. I mean, I have grown up in Australia and I've been very fortunate enough to have great support around me, and that's why I'm competing for Australia. If it were to happen where I had the opportunity to compete for the Philippines, if I couldn't compete for Australia, I would definitely take it because this is half of me. I've always forever supported the Philippines, and that's a proud part of who I am. But I've just grown up in Australia, so that's how I have represented so far. And you never know, it does become the Olympics and I can't dive for Australia, I can definitely dive for the Philippines. I mean, I'm a dual citizen, and I still have my family here, so I definitely won't say no.
Additional for Shante and Alexi, since our Philippine diving team is here, what's your advice to the young generation of Filipino diving players here in the country that's still, beginning with this sport?
We just saw an hour ago all the Filipino divers training, and it's really amazing to see that the sport is growing here. I know it's really hard because there isn't much funding in the Philippines for diving, and it's a very small community, but I think that's also a benefit for them. They can really support each other, and because they're one of the few in the Philippines, they can really shine from other sports. Diving is a very different and beautiful sport, and I think a lot of people love watching it because of that. So I really encourage the younger divers and new people to try the sport because it's a very special thing in India.
I would like just to say that diving is really a particular sport, and not everyone can do it, so just keep going, more discipline, it's really amazing sport to do.
Tanong din ako.
Wait, just to double down on the question, how about Coach Marie? What's the experience like for your athletes? The 2 world-class divers are here. Anything in particular that you told them to ask or you told them to learn from them?
First, I'd like to thank everyone here and give a big thank you to Red Bull for having us here.
Actually, we were invited in the first time that we were in rapid testing. Some of the divers have occasion here. So it's cliff diving or high diving and diving, regular diving are quite different. Like as you can see, for regular diving, the highest is 10 meters and for high diving is 27 or 20. So the difference, there's like a lot of difference between the dives. For example, they dive feet first, tapos yung sa regular diving is head first. So since the divers are diving from a 10-meter platform, so yung ikot nila is different. Just ikot nila is yung regular. And then since they're coming from a higher platform, they have to turn slowly so that they enter the water in a vertical position. So what advice is, since it's more like emotional support or the mental, we can encourage them to, like what training, even if it's difficult, because it is a very high skill sport. And then also like it could be something that they would want to get into in the future, like if they choose to get into high diving. Just like they mentioned, we're really hoping that it also gets into the Olympics. So right now there are competitions in the junior level. So that's starting at their age level. So we're also hoping that the Red Bull divers would give them points as to the first entrant, and maybe they could give them points on how to execute these dives properly, and then also to tell them how exciting it is, like not just as an extreme sport, but also like as an Olympic sport.
Hello, I'm Jason from the Daily Tribune. So, for both athletes, how long did you prepare for this 16th season of the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series?
Especially for Red Bull.
Yes.
I mean, it's big preparation, so the background is should be diving. So for sure, Red Bull preparation is diving. So for some people, it's been from gymnastics, from trampoline, sport, but still to even if they have a background, big background in sport, or gymnastics, or trampoline, I would say, they still should know diving. Big preparation is really important. Years, years.
Yeah, I agree with Alexi. We spend many hours in the pool and in the gym and in the dry land practicing for only 3 seconds of diving. Most of us divers will have a diving background for gymnastics and trampoline, but then transitioning from the sport, like for me, it took me like about 2 years to even start learning on 20 meters. I had to practice in the 10-meter pool for hours, landing feet first to correct that entry before you can take it up higher. So it's a lot of hours of practice, but it's definitely achievable for anyone to do. It's just a lot of hard work to do.
I would just like to say, because it's difficult to say how long this transaction is. I did my diving career even when I was like from 9 years old to 30, I guess, 39. So from then, let's say that it took like 1 year or half a year to make some dives from 37, but again, from where I came, like competition. So this
So, when you flew here to the Philippines, where did you continue your training?
So I'm actually here for one more day, so I'll train this afternoon, but I'm going to China to train at the 20-meter pool. So they have a facility that's similar to this, but double the height, so I can practice my dives that I get to compete. But this is the same as what I have at home. We only have the springboards and the 10-meter platform, so we actually only practice half the dive, and we'll run back up and practice the next half the dive. So this is still a great place to learn, but I will be going to China before coming back for El Nido.